What's going on, guys? It's been a while since I posted on my channel, and I have a good reason for that. I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys. So at the end of the 2017 season, I ended up not doing so well. I had a pretty bad 2017 season in NBA DraftKings, and that's partly my fault. I didn't put as much time and effort into it as I would have liked, and things just didn't swing my way. It was kind of weird how things were nearing the December, November time in NBA. Um, I didn't predict anything right. It just didn't work out well for me, and that's just me being completely honest. So I didn't have a good time. So I eventually kind of gave up on it nearing the end of the season. Now, with that being said, right now I do have a lot more time. I've been finishing all my work and my school stuff, so I have more time to allocate to strictly DraftKings or fantasy sports and altogether. I don't, I guess, have much to do, so I can basically do research all day and a bunch of other things as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing during the 2017-2018 season, unless something changes and I get suddenly flooded with like a ton of work, which I don't think should happen, but we'll see. But without further ado, let's just talk about some of the lineups and NBA stuff, some random stuff. You guys don't have to listen if you don't want to, but it was crazy how I had like, I can't remember, like a low amount of subscribers, and I was just like putting up random stuff, and then all of a sudden I had like, I don't know, 600, and I was like surprised at it. I didn't really do much, so I don't even know why. Anyways, that's beside the point. Yeah, I'm just gonna get back into posting more often, at least during the 2017 NBA season, and I'm not going to do MLB because I suck at it, completely like awful at it. I just can't. Um, Maybe I'll do an NFL DraftKings or FanDuel talk or whatever, but most likely not because I'm not the best at it. I'm pretty good, but I'm not the best at it. Okay, anyway, let's talk about transactions, trades, depth charts, sleeper picks if you're playing NBA, long-term fantasy. So, yeah, let's get right into it. So, first off, the Atlanta Hawks, probably going to be a shit team, to be honest. Out of everyone here, I would say pick up Dennis Schroeder. They really don't have a good team, but somebody's going to have to score. So it could be a breakout season for Taurean Prince if you want to pick him up. My guess, since they don't really have anyone, he'll probably average like 16 points, 8 rebounds, and like 4 assists probably. I mean, if it surprises me, you know, you might as well take a shot on him. I mean, he had a pretty decent season. Not the best, but pretty decent. And Dwayne Dedman looks like they're going to be the starting center for now, which is pretty surprising. He might be a good pickup too. Maybe in the 7th or 8th round if you're playing like ESPN fantasy sports. Only because he can average a double double, and he might be good. Ersan Ilyasova is Okay, so let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets. They just picked up D'Angelo Russell. He's going to be a superstar one day. I believe so. So I believe you should pick him up along with Jeremy Lin, because those two are going to be the head leaders for that team. They have a bunch of like other scrub players who are not going to do that good, so I would only pick up those two. Looking at the Celtics, obviously Isaiah Thomas. It looks like they have a damn good lineup in Isaiah, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Crowder, and Horford. And they also picked up Marcus Morris, and they have the first round pick Jason Tatum as well. So it's probably going to be a good team. I think that's over the limit though, is it? Let's see. 4, 7, 10. Yeah, I think they have too many players right now, so probably going to cut someone. But, same thing as last year. Isaiah's going to be the star of the team. Hayward's going to be decent. But I would honestly go like Isaiah first, then Horford, then Hayward if I had to pick. Everyone else is going to be like okay, but nothing that's going to like shock your eye. None of the standout players. Looking at the Charlotte Hornets, same team as last year. Basically, they just added Dwight Howard. It's still going to be, maybe a top 10, 8 team in the East, but nothing special really. I don't see any breakouts, to be honest here. The only one I'd go for is um, actually no, I would pick up Walker, Batum, and Howard because Batum can average a triple double if he wanted to, but I don't think he's going to. Maybe like 18, 7 and 7. Kind of a push out there, but he could improve. I think he's still going to stay the same. I just don't see as much potential in him. Kemba Walker is always good. He's definitely a top 25 pick just because he shoots a lot of threes, gets a lot of steals, and scores a lot, I guess. And looking at the Bulls, this team is just a complete train wreck right now. I mean, I don't know if Dwayne Wade's going to leave. There's a good chance he will. So that means Zach LaVine is starting. Looking at the rest of the lineup, you got Chris Dunn, basically, and just crap for the rest of the way. I think out of all these players, the only ones that could have a breakout are Chris Dunn because he's a really good passer and defender, and he can steal or not steal. He can get you a lot of defensive plays. He might be decent. So you might pick him up late 7th round, 8th round. Zach LaVine, you should take a chance on him only because he's super young. He's a great 3-point shooter. He can dunk. He can get you a lot of assists. But the only thing is, I think that he's not as versatile. Meaning, like, I don't know, maybe he might score like 20 points, 5 and 5. I don't know what his potential is. I have to wait and see. But yeah, Denzel Valentine also might be a steal later on. He's probably going to start over Paul Zipser. I don't think Paul Zipser is going to start because Valentine has way more potential. And the rest of the players, not really. Looking at the Cavaliers, it's the same thing as last year. You can't really expect much from them. I mean, they added Jeff Green, Derrick Rose, Jose Calderon. Really, they're not going to improve. And Kyrie's definitely leaving, so Derrick Rose might be a decent pickup because he's trying to, restart his horrible career. I mean, not horrible, but nearing the end of his career is kind of bad. Last year he had a decent season, but he's trying to rebuild. And, he took a veteran's minimum of like $2 million or something. It's really, really shit, to be honest. 1 second. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave that. Okay, then Dallas Mavericks. But I'm gonna close my door since. Okay, so looking at the Mavericks, same team as last team. I'm not even gonna comment on them. I'd pick up because I don't know because they have so many damn guards. I mean, if you look at this, they have the new number 5 draft pick. They have J.J. Barea, Yogi Ferrell, Seth Curry, Devin Harris, who are all like really good guards. Wesley Matthews, all decent. I wouldn't even pick up anyone from this team besides maybe Seth Curry. To be honest, none of it's really just worth my time. They're a slow paced team. They just don't really do much. But I don't know what the addition of Dennis Smith Jr. is going to do to the team. Just because looking at the summer league highlights, he is going to be a decent player in this league. But I wouldn't take a shot on any of these guys. So I would pass on most of them, to be honest, besides Seth Curry, maybe. Look at the Nuggets. They added Paul Millsap. So that's a plus. I don't know how he's going to fare with Nikola Jokic, but if I had to guess, they're going to do pretty well together. Nikola Jokic, you should pick this guy up ASAP. He's only going to improve. I think that the Nuggets are going to make him the focal point of the offense, which they did nearing the end of the 2017 season, or 2016-2017 season. So Nikola Jokic, definitely top 15 for me. I'd probably, if I had a chance, I'd probably take him top 10, to be honest. Nearing 9, 10, 10-ish. He's a triple-double star. Lot of potential in him. I might take him over a bunch of players, but there's a few players down the list that I might look at that I would pick him. So right now, I'd take him number 9. And I would take LeBron James number 4. right now. I mean, I'm just going off the thought. I'm just gonna name my top 10 who I'd pick, and that's about it. So Pistons, um, they added Avery Bradley, but it's kind of the same team. They didn't really improve much. I mean, if they gave Boban more minutes, he would be honestly really good. But I think they're just making his development so damn slow. I mean, he has so much potential, but they don't even give him a chance. I don't know why. I guess he's like, I don't know, slow. I have no idea. Anyways, Warriors, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. Obviously, it's the same exact team. They just added a bunch of sharpshooters like Nick Young, but basically the same team. And Omer Caspi they added as well. So I would take Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, number 2 on my list. No, I would take Kevin Durant number 3 on my list. I take that back. I would take Kevin Durant number 3 on my list, and Steph Curry I would take at. Okay, wait a second. Okay, I have to rethink this. So, Steph Curry I would take at number 3. Kevin Durant I would take at number 4, and LeBron James I would take at number 5. Nikola Jokic number 9. The reason I say Kevin Durant number 4 is because he's basically an all-around player. He can block, rebound, steal, shoot, score. Shoot and score the same thing. They can assist. And I would take Curry at number 3 because he shoots so many threes that will help your team. And if you know anything about long-term fantasy sports, which I do play a lot of, I won like 3 or 4 leagues last year, so I might enter in some high roller tournaments this year because I do have the extra money as well. So this is going to be probably a successful season for me. I'm gonna go pretty hard. So yeah, Steph Curry number 3. The only reason, high percentage shooting, field goal percentage, high percentage free throw percentage, so it doesn't hurt you there. Very good steals, pretty good assists, high ass shooting, meaning like 3-point shooting. Like he shoots like 400, 300 threes per season, which no player in the league basically can do that for you besides Steph Curry, maybe Klay Thompson a little bit, but Steph Curry got to be top 3, to be honest. He's super good. Help your team out in every way. Unless you're playing head to head. I usually play Roto because I like the long term thing and not just like, preparing for just the playoffs. So anyways, James Harden I would take at number 2. And I think you guys all know who my number 1 pick is. So I would take James Harden number 2. I think that he's just an all-around player. Super good. Gonna average around 30 points. Basically his season last year. 30 points. About his assists are gonna go down to like 7 or 8. And then his rebounds are gonna be like 6 around there. I don't know how the addition of Chris Paul is going to be. I think it's going to add a lot of firepower to that team, but the rest of the team, it's not as good. They do have a lot of 3-point shooters. Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, Ariza, Ryan Anderson, that will help them out. And they added a couple other players that are like, okay, but Chris Paul and James Harden, they're both going to run the point. Well, when Chris Paul's off the court, Harden will run the point, but Harden is going to usually play a lot of minutes, so I would definitely take him second. And Chris Paul, I would take him number 10 right now, to be honest. Usually he's like a top 5 pick, but number 10 seems right about for me. He's going to average a double-double, meaning like assists and points and get you a lot of steals, but there are other players on this list that you would take way over him. So they're going to be a good team. They should add a couple more bench players that are good because I don't know, the bench is like decent, not as amazing as they want it to be. Pacers are going to suck this year, in my opinion. I would take Miles Turner as a good pickup. He's going to be probably the focal point of this team, looking from the looks of their lineup. I mean, they have a bunch of like scrub players here. I mean, not scrub players, but you know what I mean. None of the players that are going to have breakout seasons. Maybe Bojan could be a decent like 9th round pick. Take a shot on him. Oladipo maybe. I don't really see much, to be honest. Now we get into the good stuff. We got the Clippers. I mean, not the good stuff, but the Clippers are going to be like decent. I would say Gallinari, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. Okay, maybe. No, I don't see a top 10 pick here, but maybe there's some decent value, but nothing you should really look at if you're playing long term. Yeah, nothing really. Lonzo Ball. Um, I don't even know what to say about Lonzo Ball. He's gonna be a good player. You can already tell that his father gets him a lot of media hype, and he's already a pretty good player. So that just, all eyes are on him. And when you're put under the spotlight, there's good chance that he will succeed. He could very well get like average a triple double or around a triple double, which, if I have to predict his first season, I would say he's going to score around 15 points, 9 assists, and around 7 rebounds, which is a pretty damn good all-around player. So I would pick him up. I'd take a chance with him on the 5th, 4th round, to be honest. Not bad player. Brandon Ingram, they're looking for him to improve as well, but to be honest, I don't see him having a breakout season next year. I know that's surprising because there's a lot of hype on him and him improving, but I can't see it. So I'm going to pass on him, just drafting him all together. Anyways, so you have Julius Randle and Brook Lopez. All these players are actually really good, so they're going to be good next year. They have to get rid of some players because their lineups are just too many players on it. So the Grizzlies, I would take a chance on Tyreek Evans. He's a good player, but he gets injured a lot. If you give him a shot, he'll become good. Conley is good. Saul's good. Parsons sucks. The only reason I say he sucks is he pissed me off last season. He didn't do well, but maybe I'll give him a redemption shot. Who knows? He might be decent. Most likely not, but we'll see. Needs to have a better season, Parsons, seriously. Miami Heat, pretty decent last year, surprisingly. They have basically the same exact team. So yeah, follow the same things last time. Hassan Whiteside will probably be really good. James Johnson's going to be good again. Same thing. Same thing as last season. You can look at their stats last season. It's going to be a repeat, basically. Now, the Timberwolves are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, look at this goddamn lineup. You have Jeff Teague, Andrew Wiggins, Jimmy Butler, Gorgui Dieng, Karl Anthony Towns, and they just added Taj Gibson, Jamal Crawford, and they had Tyus Jones. But yeah, they have a good-ass team. And I mean, like, even Melo Trimble's decent. So, look forward to them to be a fun team to watch. All players are just going to be ridiculous. I don't know where the points are going to go. And if Kyrie Irving joins the squad, which I don't think he will, that squad would be stacked. Definitely top 5, top 3 around there in the West if they had that team. Okay, Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Cannot say his name, and not many people can, but that's a given. Anyways, he is going to be a star. His numbers are going to improve. He got the most improved player last year. If I can remember correctly, he is going to be good. He just got bigger as well. I'm not going to show a picture because I'm lazy. Well, yeah, no, I'm too lazy to show a picture. But he's going to be good. So is Malcolm Brogdon. And with the addition of Chris Middleton back after being injured, they're going to be a decent team. But Giannis does enter my top 10. And I would take him at number 5 or 6. Interplaceable with LeBron James. I'd probably take him number 6, to be honest. Because LeBron is just LeBron, and he can average a triple-double, and so can Giannis. The only reason I say Giannis enters my top 10 is because he gets blocks, he gets steals, he gets points, he gets assists, he gets rebounds. All-around player. The only thing that he hurts me in is his free throw percentage and a little bit of his turnovers. But I can take the hit on that if he provides me in every other portion of, the Roto League stats. And I'm basically, my top 10 is based off Roto League stats. So if someone fails in shooting percentage or free throw percentage, that's going to hurt me in the long run. So I don't want that. So basically, it's the all around package. So none of these players I would take top 10, but right now, top 10, if we want to go over it again, it's going to be, let's see, LeBron James will be number 5. He doesn't really hurt you in anything. His lowest point is the free throw percentage, which he always averages around like 70-ish, 75%, which is not horrible. So number 5, everything else, he's basically a triple-double and steals and blocks, so all-around good-ass player. Nikola Jokic averages like a triple-double at the end of the season. That was ridiculous. He has good percentages everywhere. He can shoot threes. You have no idea how much potential this guy has. And, the addition of Paul Millsap, everyone's going to think it's going to take away from his skills, but I think it's just going to get him more assists. Maybe take away a little bit of rebounds, but he's the focal point, so I don't think so. Anyway, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, number 3, number 4. All around good players that don't hurt you in any categories at all. Harden, number 2, just because he basically racks up all the stats as well. But yeah. Now we're still looking for a number 1 spot, 7, 8, and 10 spot, I believe. So let's continue along the way. Pelicans, they have Rajon Rondo, which is a really good pickup. Jrue Holiday. Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins are the players to look at. They have a stacked team. Now, here we go. Top 10, you are going to enter in Anthony Davis, and I know that DeMarcus Cousins does take away from his statistics a tiny bit, but it's not as much as you would think. Anthony Davis still has a lot of potential, and I would put him at number 10, I believe. I think number 10 for now. Could be a higher pick later, but number 10 for now, I'm going to pick him. Rajon Rondo might be decent. You could give him a shot late 5th round, 6th roundish. He could have a double-double. Now, looking at the Knicks, if and only if Carmelo Anthony leaves, I am 100% taking Kristaps Porzingis in my top 10 picks. I know it's crazy to say, but Kristaps Porzingis really wants his game to improve. He has gotten bigger. He has gotten more skilled. He wants to improve. So I believe that Porzingis can be a top 10 player if Carmelo leaves. If not, he's definitely a top 20 player. A lot of blocks, good 3-point shooter, good free throw percentage, good field goal percentage, good rebounds, good points, okay assists. Okay, so he's going to be a good player. Might break my top 10 only because of the blocks, but right now I'm going to put him at number 15, 16, around there. All right, as you know, Paul George has joined the Oklahoma City Thunder. Everyone else on the team, kind of shit. To be honest, you have Steven Adams and Cantor who are decent. Everyone else, though, is like not going to help your team that much. So the only 2 players to look out here are Russell Westbrook and Paul George. And that's about it. Russell Westbrook will come in at number 1 spot. Now, I know the addition of Paul George might hinder Westbrook's potential of getting even better stats than he did last year, but he averaged a crazy amount of stats last year. I want to see what this does, by the way, because this is on Roto World. Last year, he averaged 32 points, 1.6 assists, 10 assists, or 1.6 steals, 10 assists, basically 11 rebounds, a lot of threes. What more can you ask for? So I think this season, what will he do? I think he'll average 29 points, 10 assists. I believe he'll still have 10 assists. And 10 rebounds. I think he'll get a triple-double. He'll average another triple-double probably. Maybe a little less than the rebound percentage. Maybe like 9 rebounds. So close to a triple-double basically. But yeah, number 1 right here for my pick, to be honest. Paul George. does not enter my top 10. He usually is, or projected to be there for ESPN, but he does not enter my top 10 unless he shows me some crazy stuff like he has been in the past. I mean, he was okay last season. Let's take a look. What did he get? 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.6 steals. It's okay, but I think there are way better players than him, to be honest. Okay, Orlando Magic. Nothing really, same team as last year. You can go off last statistics. 76ers. Yes, 76ers are going to be a solid team. They added JJ Redick, Markelle Fultz. You know, Ben Simmons might come back. I think he will be back. They're going to be a stacked team, and they have Joel Embiid. The Sixers are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the East. You can mark my words on that. I can promise you that. Based off of their team, they will be good. I'm going to say top 5. I know that seems surprising right now, but the East sucks, so top 5 for me. What can I say? I don't know how this team will turn out, but I would take a chance on the following people. Markelle Fultz, I would take in 4th, maybe, might be pressing it, 4th round. Ben Simmons, I have no idea. He might be good. He could have a triple-double if there's potential in this, because he's a really good assist man too, and he's pretty big. Joel Embiid, if he can stay healthy, he will enter my top 10, but I don't think he's going to stay healthy, so I'll take him 2nd round most likely. Okay, going down the line, Phoenix Suns. If Kyrie Irving joins the Phoenix Suns, he will still not enter my top 10. But everyone else is like, okay, Devin Booker might have a breakout season, but the only reason why I wouldn't take him is because he only provides you in one category, and that is scoring. As you can see, 22 points. Not really. He doesn't pass, doesn't really rebound very well. So he's only a scorer for me, to be frank. Lillard, Nurkic, McCollum. Lillard does not enter my top 10, but he is going to be he has been a good player and will provide a good amount of 3-pointers and the rest of the stats for you. But I don't see that much improvement from him, even though he wanted to be an MVP last year. I don't see it anymore. Next, we have the San Antonio Spurs. They added a lot of players here, but still my number 1 will be Kawhi Leonard. Most people will think that the stats will be taken down a tiny bit because of the addition of Rudy Gay. That most likely will not be the case. If we look at his season last year and his previous seasons, he only improves. So every year we look at this. Okay, 8 points in 2011, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. 2012, next year, 12 points. And I guess we could look at steals too, but 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Next year, 13 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds. Next year, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And then the next year is 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. And then the last year was 25.5 points, 1.8 steals, 3.5 assists, and 6 rebounds. So that is pretty good stats, and he gives you good free throw percentage too. So, and good three-pointers. I would pick him at my number 10. Did I say 10 already? I think I said 10 already. So maybe, did I say? Yeah, I would put Anthony Davis at number 8. And right now, I'll take Kawhi Leonard at number 10, but I'm really iffy on it, actually. So maybe I'll go back at the end of the video and figure out my top 10. Sacramento Kings, they just have a lot of potential. That's all I'm going to say. Because they have De'Aaron Fox, first-round draft pick. They have Buddy Hield, who might do well. and basically a bunch of young players. I don't really see much. Probably gonna be crap, to be honest. Kyle Lowry, no. DeMar DeRozan, decent team, but none of my top 10. I don't really see that much potential out of anyone either, meaning like anyone to improve their stats from last year. Utah Jazz, Ricky Rubio will be a good player just because he likes to run the point and is better in a slow-paced environment. And I think that this is the place for him right here. Going to the Washington Wizards, John Wall will enter my top 10. I am going to take John Wall at number 7. Let's take a look at his stats last year and why I want to take him number 7. He, again, is improving almost every single year. Last year, he had 23 points, 11 assists, 2 steals, almost a block. Good 3-point numbers. I think it was, yeah, he gave you 100. No, okay, I guess not as good, but 93 isn't too bad. A lot of assists. Good shooting percentage, 45%. So yeah, pretty decent. I would take him for the assists mainly assists and scoring and steals. So yeah, top 7 for me. So if we look at everything that I said today, number 1 will go to Russell Westbrook. Number 2 would go to James Harden. Number 3 would go to Stephen Curry. Number 4, Kevin Durant. Number 5, LeBron James. Number 6, I would put Giannis Antetokounmpo. Number 7, I'd give it to John Wall. Number 8, Anthony Davis. Number 9, Nikola Jokic. And number 10, I would give to Kawhi Leonard. Also, Blake Griffin might have a breakout season, even more than he has in the past, just because no Chris Paul, so he would be looking to fire back with a vengeance and might have the best season of his career. So maybe look to get him in the top 20. But right now, that's my top 10 based off Roto statistics. So far, it will change. I'm going to say it will change 100% during the start of the season, because I know that other players might pop up and trades might happen, which will allow more opportunity for other players to become better. So we'll see. But yeah, if you guys enjoy this, leave a like below. I hope you will have a great season, and I will be back with a vengeance for the 2017 season. And I will see you guys then. I won't be posting a video at all until then, most likely. So I will see you guys in the 2017 season, and take care.